Here's a little tip.
From our garden to yours.
I want to use more seasonings when I cook, but I'm not sure how to do it. Fortunately for me, Luann Duncan, our Family and Consumer Sciences agent, is here to teach me today about using rubs. Luann, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell me, rubs, I've heard of them, but I don't even know what they are.
Basically, it can be fresh herbs, it can be dried herbs and spices, but when they were originally started, they were dried and you rubbed them into the meat. That's why they called them rubs, to get that flavor. And sometimes people put a little thick layer on there, so there's a crunch when you bite into your meat. But really, they're just seasoning mixes that you can use any way you want to.
Well, I've had them in restaurants, and I think you're going to show me today how to make a rub.
Right, we're going to do a Jamaican blend. It's a spicy one. And we're going to use the coffee grinder. You can get any kind of spice grinder or whatever you want to use. But in this particular case, we want to grind it fine. So you're going to use a stick of cinnamon.
A stick of cinnamon. And this rub, it looks like it's going to, you would use it on what kind of food?
Usually on meats.
So I'm breaking the stick up a little bit.
Right, and you can add other ingredients to it. For example, if you wanted to add some of your own home dried onion or something, you could, but this is a basic. Then about 6 tablespoons of allspice, and this is the whole berry that we have here.
Okay.
And it's about 6 tablespoons, and once again, if you like something, you like allspice better than cinnamon?
You said it would be almost the whole thing.
Yeah, so it's going to fill up and make quite a bit of rub. And then some whole pepper, and only about 3 teaspoons, which is about a tablespoon. So just a little shake of it in there to get the flavor. If you ever make your own at home and experiment, make sure you write the amounts down, measure then and keep track, because then if you really like that particular one, you'll redo it and you'll have the recipe to do that. Then we're going to throw in a nutmeg. And this doesn't grind up quite as well whole, but we'll throw it in for now. And if you have a hard time getting them to grind up, just go ahead and hammer it with a hammer or the end of your knife or something. Then you just put the coffee grinder together, and then you make a lot of noise until it's as fine as you want. Now this is really fine. And you can do it more coarse if you like more of a crunch, but when you take a whiff, it's pretty strong. So if you had a whole mouthful, it might be a little bit much. So now we take
use it on.
You're going to use it on some chicken today.
Okay.
And we have just like chicken fingers that have been pre-cut. We're just going to rub it right on there.
So would I just shake it on there?
Shake it on there, or yeah.
You said not to use very much.
Well, you just...
Would I do both sides?
You would do both sides and just rub it in. How about if I help here a little bit, and we'll just kind of put it on there for you.
Great, great. And so I'm just literally covering the chicken with it, and both sides. Well, there's some in the pans too.
Right. And that'll get in there and collect some juices and get it going.
We'll do one more.
Right. Now
I won't have time to do them all. You can help me with the spoon again.
Okay. Sure.
Of course, now I have raw chicken on my hands.
Yes, and as always, we are concerned about salmonella. There's no doubt, we always worry about the salmonella. So wash your hands before and after, or wear gloves. But since you're going to cook it, it's going to take care of any salmonella issues there, but it's washing your hands that we're concerned about. So. We throw it in the skillet, on the grill. You can bake it in the oven, however you prefer to have it done. What's nice is this takes the place of the fat from the skin on the chicken, because we've removed the skin, we've made it healthier. There's no salt. Now the recipe calls that you can add salt, but we're going to leave that out because there's going to be plenty of flavor, and we want to get away from using so much sodium.
So, Luann, we have just enough time to talk a little bit about fresh herbs, because they would be used differently, correct?
Correct. For example, what we might do is cut some fresh herbs that came from the extension office. An easy way to do this is kitchen shears. Put some pieces down into the cup and just snip until you get them as fine as you'd like.
And some basil.
Sure. Throw in some oregano. And while you're doing, whoops.
You can also do it with your hands too.
Right, you want to take the stems off probably as much as you can. But we're going to cook this, so it's okay. Do you want to practice cutting it and get it as fine as you'd like? And then I've put some buttermilk in a hand blender, or you can use an electric blender, and then add that to your buttermilk, because the fresh herbs need something to help it stick. It isn't going to stick as well as the dry rub.
Well, Luann, we've learned a lot today about using seasonings, and I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you. I had a fun time.
It was fun. I plan to use some of these fresh herbs from my garden to create my own rub, and if I can do it, anybody can do it.